Hello, my friends, and welcome to a space where pleasure is treasured, relaxation is not what you think it is, and life firing on all cylinders is what we're about. If you are somebody who wakes up every day asking for way more, consider this your happy place. Welcome to the Creation of Living podcast. I'm your host, Heather Nichols. Let's dive in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Creation of Living podcast. This is Heather Nichols here, and we're going to chat today about money, creation, being different, and going beyond the how. I have been doing a lot of private sessions lately. I did a big private session sale a little over a month ago, and I think I've done about 50 private sessions in the past 6 weeks or so, and more all the time, more every day. It's been such a total delight actually working with people, and I love doing private sessions. And one of the topics that has come up a lot is this question of how. People are asking for things that are greater in their lives. They're asking for more. A lot of times people want support around creating something different, creating something greater. And the big question comes up when somebody would like to have more in their life is how? How do I do it? I know I should ask for it. I know I should choose it. And then how do I go about creating it? And how I would like to invite you, and maybe just give this a chance for the moment, to throw away that word as a word, as something that you think of as a question. It's not a question. Some people think it is a question, but a question for me is something that expands and opens up possibilities, like opens up universes. And how is not that. It's where you start to shrink things and you start to look for like somebody to give you answers, a step-by-step plan, which in this reality and the craziness of our world, like that's how most people function. And yet this podcast is for the humanoids of the world, the people that are different, the people that are the seekers of the world, those that would like to have a different reality. And if you are somebody who is different, who has a different awareness of possibilities, like who functions in a very different way, then you are wired differently for creation. You are wired differently for the how. And the how becomes more about making choices, asking questions, opening futures, opening up different energies and different possibilities. Becomes way more about that than about, it's like a step-by-step formula for how to do something. Most humanoids, and when it comes to money, most humanoids I would say humanoids in general, create money miraculously. I know I can look at all the places in my life where, I've created money, and there's a lot of different ways that I've created money, but some of the most easeful, the most abundant, the most like effortless ways that I've created money have all been through miracles, not through step by step by step by step. And I have always been willing to follow the step by step. Like if somebody has given me a step by step, I'm like, I'll do it. No problem, But I have seen for myself, and I've seen this with a lot of people that I work with, that it doesn't necessarily yield a whole lot. It's kind of a way to like eke out different to eke out what it is that you're creating, if it's money or whatever it may be, meaning you can kind of like get some stuff to flow, get some things to move. But when there is this exuberance, there's a sense of like, I'm going to go for this, I'm going to have this no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes, I'm going to have it. That is where we bring so much energy to the creative table. And we start to function from so much more of who we actually are and the difference that we are. Each one of us has such a unique way of seeing the world, of approaching things. Everybody has such a unique awareness of how things work, and how things function, and how to put all kinds of things together to make something. And if you look at art, I mean, look at a painting, a beautiful, amazing painting that somebody has created. It's like that painting could not be created exactly the same by anybody else. That person had an awareness of the colors and the design and the lines and the shape and the negative space and the light and the medium, and you know that person is the only person that could create that particular piece of art. And the cool thing is there's like infinite numbers of, pieces of art that can be created in the world. Just and even by you have infinite choices and infinite awareness of the art that you could create. Um, and so that is where like you have to go to the uniqueness of you and the difference that you are, rather than try to be like everybody else. There's, if you look at like education and schools and trainings and things like that, so much of that stuff is follow my formula, do this. This is how you create business. This is how you create money. This is how you, and for humanoids, for the seekers of the world, for the people asking for something different, looking for something different, sometimes it can be really wonderful. Like it can seem like a wonderful thing for somebody to tell you how. But I guarantee you, and you probably will recognize this, you'll get bored, if you're doing it somebody else's way, or if you're doing it the same way over and over again. And a lot of humanoids judge themselves for that, but that's not actually wrong. Getting bored is not a wrongness. It's actually an indication that you are a highly creative creature who likes variety, who likes to do things very different each time. And that's one of the things that I really love about the tools of Access Consciousness and the Joy of Business is that this invitation to be constantly like out creating myself, creating greater, creating more, like just always having more, creating more, being more, new things. And it's all just like try it on, see what works, see what shows up. It doesn't have to be like we don't have to like succeed dynamically at everything that we choose. Sometimes trying something and then having a little bit of a failure, can be actually that can be great, because it gives us more awareness of, what might work, what might not. And for humanoids, for the seekers of the world, like having more awareness is actually one of the greatest gifts, because everything you do is in service of you having more awareness, greater awareness. Like you can choose something different next time. You can create something different next time. And you'll never get there if you're following a script or a formula or a how. So I invite you to throw how out the window when it comes to creating what you would like to create. I've had a lot of conversations like this on this podcast, so there's a lot that you can go back and listen to. Um, I think even maybe the last one, I can't remember. I don't remember much these days. I've lost my linear thinker. But if you go back and, listen to because there's a lot of creative podcasts on this one. So there's some cool conversations around creation. But what is it that you uniquely know that you've never harnessed, like you've never allowed yourself to know, that could be a really beautiful part of you creating something very different in your life and in the world? And part of that, giving ourselves access to that is that's actually how we start to create more money, is by, and more of everything that you're asking for is like going, okay, what is true for me? And you'll have like a kind of a niggling awareness. Like I notice that a lot, where it's like something that's like, not quite, or, "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah," like, I get really excited about certain things that I'm creating and, having and asking for. When I get really excited and I bring the enthusiasm of, like, my reality, like, the enthusiasm of creation to the table, um, that's when I know things are gonna really probably flourish way more than, they would if I was just trying to, like, get her done or, like, do something because I think I need to do it. So, this is where being like, the true how, which is not at all how, lies in the difference of you. What is it that makes you sing? What is it that lights you up? What is it that excites you so much that you would love to create it? You would love to have it. You would love to see it in the world. You would love to experience it. I mean, for me, even like when I'm creating with my business, it's like if there's a class that I'm creating, it's like I'm so excited to have that conversation, that lights me up. I get very enthusiastic about different conversations that I get to have. And so with all of that, it's like when there's that enthusiasm there, you are naturally going to show up so much more like bigger, more vibrant, more alive, more powerful with that enthusiasm to invite the world to something very different. There's that saying of people will come from miles around to watch you burn with enthusiasm. And I think that's very true. When you are super enthusiastic about what it is that you're creating, it's like that is an invitation that it's contagious, it's palpable, it's irrepressible, it's undeniable, and people are like, "What is going on?" And that's how we generate business, that's how we generate more money flows, is by having that kind of excitement and enthusiasm about what it is that we're creating. And that, from my experience, like, it really only comes from something that is feels very dear to me, like, very, like a part of my cells and a part of my, wiring, like, I can think of so many things that, over the years that kind of like thought I needed to create, and, or did create, or, and it was more just kind of like, well, I should do this because I'm supposed to. This is what an access consciousness facilitator does. This is what a somatic psychotherapist does. This is what, a movement teacher does, whatever. And like none of that is good enough for me as something that I would like to actually like. That's not a good enough reason to create something. For me, it has to be like, oh my gosh, there's this really unique thing that we could explore, um, or this unique piece of art that I could create. It doesn't have to be, it could be lots of different things that you are creating. And so what's fun for you? What brings you enthusiasm? What brings you alive? What is so different? What does make you burn with enthusiasm that you could create, that you could put out into the world, launch into the world, that would allow so much business, so much money, so much of all the things you're asking for to flow your way? And even if we're not talking about business and money, it's just like that energy of enthusiasm for creation and the energy of creativity and aliveness is like when you have that genuinely, the universe is like the universe starts firing on all cylinders on your behalf, so there's also a way of like it's kind of like where I feel like the universe, basically kind of like rewards people that are willing to really go for it and choose what is true for them. Because then you're showing up as an infinite being. You're showing up as somebody who's willing to be different, willing to know something different. And you're showing up as the infinite being you are, which makes the entire universe greater. And then everything gets greater and will also contribute to you getting greater, your life getting greater. It's amazing to see how this works. And sometimes I do feel a little bit like almost like a broken record or something, like saying a lot of similar things in different ways. But it's blown me away. and this is something that I feel like I just like expand into so much more all the time. Um, where it's just blown me away every day, every week, of my life, where like the more I allow myself to really just go into this space of what do I know and what's true for me and what would I like to create, what would be fun for me, and being me fully, as fully as I can today, right now. And of course, tomorrow that's going to be more. The more I just prioritize that, the more things just flow and move and come into my life without me exerting any effort whatsoever. It's pretty amazing. Um, so, um, so what would be fun? What do you know? And what if you don't have to get it right? What if you can just like try things, experiment with things, don't think about how, just it's like, okay, so if you get an idea, here's kind of a pragmatic way of, some questions you can ask. It's like you get an idea or there's something you'd like to create, and then it's just literally like, cool. Well, first of all, you could say like to that creation, because all creations have energy of their own. You could just say, like, let me know when you would like to be in the world, because it may not be even a now thing. And from there, it's like, hey, um, just start talking to it, like having conversations with it. What would you like to be? What would you like to be called? What would you like to be priced? If it's something like that, like a business offering. Um, but also like really, then starting to ask the questions of, okay, so dear universe, what can I be? What can I do? What can I choose that would allow me to have this with total ease? What miracles can I be that would allow me to have this with total ease? What can I choose that is uniquely available to me that would allow me to have this with total ease? So there's all kinds of questions like that where you just start asking those questions and things start to, like, you will start to get the awareness of things, new energies, new possibilities, new choices show up in your world. And then your job every day is to like wake up in the morning and be, hey, what grand and glorious adventures can I have? Who am I today? And what grand and glorious adventures can I have? Where is my attention required today? If you know what you're asking for, you know what you would like to have, and you might have a million things on the go. I always have a million things that I'm creating. And then I just go, where is my attention required today? Then it's going to show up. Like I will have an awareness, and usually there's like three things that pop into my awareness. Doink, doink, doink. Like these are the three things I need to take care of today. Those things will show up, and as they do, they start to like I'm like, okay, well then I need to do those, and as much as I can, I will do them right away, or just put my attention there, because sometimes it's not even a doing. Sometimes it's I just need to put my attention on something. Like the other day, I was like, there's so many things going on in my life right now, and I have so many different projects, and I was like, my attention is required right now to actually sit down and write down everything. Like I needed to do like a brain dump and just go, okay, what are all the things that I've said I would do, or I need, I would like to do, or I need to do, whatever. Brain dump, get it all on paper. And then from there I could go, okay, well, now what things from here actually require my attention today? So there's that very pragmatic question to ask when it comes to like what you're going to be doing. And then there's also, what can I be that's different? And this is where so I'm going to be doing a daily money series. I'm really excited about it. It's called Money Honey. Let it rip and let it drip, which I think is just so fun. And for me, let it rip, that's I don't know if that expression really translates into other languages, but for me, let it rip basically means like like you are uninhibited as a being. You're gonna just like let it rip as a being, like let yourself be everything that you are. And when you are not censoring yourself, you're not holding yourself back, you're not making your choices, a reflection of what other people want you to choose. You're not slowing yourself down, stopping yourself for other people, but you're literally just like letting it rip as a being. You start to really you just start to like unleash yourself, and the choices that you're willing to make are going to be very different than the choices that you would have been willing to make a week ago. And when you're willing to make very different choices and have very different things in your life, it's like that becomes this energy that is part of, that's the how, that's the energy that just pulls all kinds of things into your world, where the money starts to drip, the money honey starts to drip, the sweetness of it all, and it's, there isn't like a direct linear line that I could draw. It's more just like, as you be more, you receive more. I was talking to somebody about that today in a session. It's like, the more you be, the more you will receive, the more you will show up, the more you will have. But part of being more is not having a point of view about other people's judgments. It's not having judgments of your own. It's showing up and expressing yourself in ways that might have previously terrified you, doing things that are uncomfortable, being willing to receive judgments that are uncomfortable. So there's this like expansion of being that occurs, that where you step out of your comfort zone, like again and again and again and again and again. You step out of your comfort zone. And as you do that, it's just like there's just this real sense of like, I mean, it can be scary, it can be, but that enthusiasm, I would say, really starts to show up when you're like, all right, I'm taking the shackles off, and I'm gonna like, I'm not gonna go to that family thing that I don't want to go to, or I'm gonna say something that I wouldn't normally say to somebody, or I'm going to, not respond to this text that I really want to respond to in anger, or I'm gonna like, ask somebody a question that I would never ask, or do something or not do something when I really just, I'm always like doing everything for everybody. And now I'm not going to. So all of those things show up from just being in the question. And the more you step out of your comfort zone of like how you show up in the world, how you show up for yourself, your business, how you show up in the world, the more you go beyond the comfort zone of that, the more you actually really start to, well, it starts to be way more fun because you're not worried about judgment anymore. You're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to choose. Why not? And that is what really gets the juices flowing for like the money flows, the creative flows, the being different, being different. If you're listening to this at this point, 23 minutes in, you're different. There's a lot of people that would turn this off and be like, oh my God, boring, whatever, but I don't care. I don't even like, to me, it's like, those are not the people that I'm speaking to. This is for the humanoids of the world, who are different, who are interested in creating a future that is different, a world that is different, that includes you having a different life, greater business creation, greater money flows, greater everything. You being the difference of you, showing up different, and your money will flow in a different way. Your business will move in a different way. Your relationships will be different. Your body will be different. And all we have to really do is choose to be greater every single day. It's so wild how easy in so many ways it is. And things just show up. Like it blows me away. So what is possible for you that you've never considered, that if you really showed up, as if you let it rip, it would drip? If you let it rip, it would show up for you like so much more. Your life would just be so much more. So Join us for Money Honey. That starts in just a few days, depending on when you're watching this. April 23rd, I believe. I'm also going to be doing a one-day X-Men class on, I don't know, on Friday, whatever. It's Monday today. I think it's the 25th of April. And if you catch this later, there's lots of other stuff coming down the pike too. And I'm also going to be doing a Money Done Different class, which is a new class in Access Consciousness. It's a Joy of Business class. And that's going to be 7 calls over the course of the month of May. So like every 3 or 4 days, we'll get on a call and dive into creating money in a very, very different way. That is way more humanoid, way more miraculous, way more you, way more ease-filled, joy-filled, glorious. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for all of it. So you are invited, come play, and whatever you do, have way more fun than you're supposed to. Thank you so much for being here. Bye for now. And thank you for joining me for the Creation of Living podcast. If this conversation was inspiring to you, share the love. To work privately with me or for info on my upcoming classes and retreats, go to heathernichols.com. Have a beautiful day, and remember that the world thrives when you do.